The esoteric text, A Course in Miracles, says, "To learn this course requires the willingness to question every value you hold." So in other words, if you want to experience miracles in your life or miraculous healing, where you have the ability to heal anything in your life and in fact anything in the world, then it requires the willingness to question all our unquestioned beliefs. It requires the willingness to see the water that we swim in other words, those invisible beliefs that make up our reality. We heal to the degree we're willing to question our values. So here's an example of that. You've heard me tell the story before. When I was 14, I was diagnosed with an incurable, life-threatening autoimmune disease. When I was 18, I fully healed that disease, that incurable disease. Now, my doctors had told me that I was going to require pharmaceutical medications and surgery for the rest of my life just in order to manage my symptoms. But I chose to question all the values that I held in that situation, including the value that I gave to my doctor's expert medical opinion. I choose to radically question all of that. I chose to question the power that I ascribed to nutrition, the validity that I ascribed to holistic healing interventions that facilitated my recovery and my healing from this incurable disease. That's just one example from my life of healing that other people say is impossible. And that happened because I was willing to question my beliefs. Sometimes when I say that we have the power to heal anything in our lives or in the world, people get defensive. They interpret it as me saying, it's your fault that you are currently sick or suffering. And that's not what I'm saying here. So if you feel like you have some defensiveness listening to this message, I would just encourage you to stick it out to the end of this video, because it might give you a mindset reframe. It might help you see this concept in a new light. Let's talk about 3 major values that we need to question in order to heal anything. The first one is the value we ascribe to being perceived as sane by other people. Early on in my healing journey, when I was just starting to use nutrition and supplements and holistic medicine, there was a moment where I was shopping at my local health food store. I was in the store aisle, muscle testing myself for supplements. And I was using a sway test where I was holding the bottle of the particular supplement to my chest, closing my eyes and gauging if my body was swaying forward or backwards, which is a way to energy test yourself. And I was getting the strangest looks from other customers in the store as they walked past me, like, what is that girl doing? Is she out of her mind? But that's what I needed to do in the moment to determine what I needed to help my body heal. And I will remember that moment forever, because it was when it clicked for me that if I want to heal in this world, a lot of people are going to think that I am really, really crazy. Now, this lesson has served me very well over the past 10 years or more at this point, because, well, for example, now we live in a world where if you are capable of just a modicum of critical thinking, and maybe you don't want to get experimental gene therapy injected into your body for a bad flu, which we don't even know is caused by a virus. Or maybe you don't want to drink toxic fluoride in your tap water, and you're going to be called a crazy conspiracy theorist for that. Other people are going to think you're insane for questioning the beliefs that they leave unquestioned. Okay? Truly, the more truth you know in this world and the healthier you become, the crazier other people think you are. The second important value to question is your sources of external validation and, in fact, your need for any external validation at all. External validation is the wanting to be perceived a certain way by other people, and it actually leads us to try to control other people's perceptions of us instead of focusing on our internal experience and how much we are aligned to our true selves and to our souls. So if we want external validation, that means we want to be perceived in positive ways by other people, like we want to be perceived as successful or intelligent or sane or beautiful or desirable. But that means we are trapped by other people's unquestioned beliefs. We are limited by the degree to which they leave their mental paradigms unquestioned. That's really deep. If you need to pause the video and just land on that point, please do so. So for example, if you're a woman and you want to be perceived as beautiful and desirable, so you're getting breast implants or putting botulism toxin in your forehead, it's because you are limited by other people's definition of what beautiful and desirable looks like, right? Their definition of that word and your definition of that word in this case is shaped by propaganda and heavy-duty marketing from the beauty industry. And so as long as you're trying to get that external validation from other people seeing you a certain way, you're going to be trapped in a way that makes you unhealthy. So if you want help with that specific example of liberating yourself from other people's perceptions, you can check out my book, The Invisible Corset, Break Free from Beauty Culture and Embrace Your Radiant Self, which is all about that topic. Here's another example of the importance of questioning our sources of external validation and our need for it in the first place. So when I was writing this book, The Invisible Corset, a few years back, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I can't wait until a certain spiritual cultural icon, Oprah, is recommending this book for her book club and is featuring me in her Oprah interview. At that point in my life, I start learning about the very dark spiritual agenda that she is, in fact, a part of. Like so many other spiritual icons in our world, she is not playing for the side she says she's playing for. And I had this moment of realizing, like, oh my gosh, if I'm going to be free to tell the truth, to write the truth, to present the truth on my social media, and in fact, in this book, she's not going to want to promote my book. So I had to give up that source of external validation, which had been on my vision board for a very, very long time, and realize the degree to which I need that external validation is the degree to which I'm holding myself back from my own healing, but also holding myself back from helping other people heal by fearlessly telling the truth and doing the work my soul came down here to do, which is, in fact, to combat the dark spiritual agenda that she and many other cultural icons are promoting right now. So I would encourage you to think about the same things. Are you searching for external validation from a certain person, a certain community that has a certain belief system, from colleagues, from mainstream media, where if you are better aligned with your true self or the truth, you're not going to get their external validation? Is that holding you back from healing in your own life and from bringing healing to the world? And a third value to question in order to heal anything and everything is your value of what healing looks like. There was a time in my life when I would have said that global healing looks like more people having the same political belief as me. And if only more people thought like me and could just see the world the way I do, a lot of global problems would be fixed. But it turns out that healing in that situation actually looked like me self-reflecting, realizing I've been indoctrinated to a large degree into political beliefs that did not reflect the tolerance and the compassion that I held so close to my heart, and in fact did not reflect actual facts. That was a trip for my ego, and I know a lot of other people have gone through similar experiences recently. Healing requires the willingness to be wrong about what we believed on so many different levels. And it's like we have to be willing to be wrong about our plans and to let our own plans fail so that a more beautiful and impossible ending can happen in our life. Like this example of me healing my incurable disease, that was a beautiful ending and one that I thought was impossible so many years ago. In order to have this kind of healing in our life, we have to question our biggest paradigms. If we look at this on a global level right now, we have to question the sources of authority. we have to question the information that we're getting in history books and in mainstream media. We have to question the intentions of that information in the first place. We have to question everything we've been taught from childhood, why we've been taught that, and the purpose that it has in shaping our lives. This is really deep work, and it's very uncomfortable for our ego because we end up having to be wrong over and over and over, and we have to end up letting our own plans fail so a more beautiful and impossible ending can come into our life. But the important thing to remember is that healing might look different than what you initially expected it to when you started out on your healing journey. If you want more support in this process of the healing journey of questioning your values so you can have miraculous healing and beautiful and impossible endings in your life, then check out my book, Beyond the Rulebook, a 30-day writing journey for a quantum leap in your life. This is unlike any other guided journal out there. It uses a special technique called speed writing with really fun and just totally unique and unexpected journaling prompts that allow you to actually write from your subconscious and your intuition and circumvent the cultural programming in your mind that keeps us stuck in these unquestioned values. So I initially wrote this book for my clients. They loved it so much that I've made it available to all of you as well, and it is at beyondtherulebook.com. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.